If you're a photographer waiting for social media to bring you clients, I'm going to share the strategy that helps me land over 90% of my clients without relying on Instagram followers. The reality is that most photographers spend years building a social presence, hoping that clients will find them. But there is a faster way to start booking $2,000 plus projects this month. So without further explanation, here's exactly what to do instead of waiting for social media to work. If you've tried landing clients through social media, you probably have been in this exact position. You're posting consistently, you upload your best work, you write thoughtful captions, you engage with other accounts, but the clients are just not coming. Maybe you get a few likes from other photographers, maybe some friends comment, but those dream clients with actual budgets are just not sliding into your DMs like everyone said they would. And I get it, I was there too. I was posting amazing photos thinking if I just built my social presence and my website, the clients would come. But the reality is, and what I discovered after building Pieta Productions to 6 figures and helping hundreds of other photographers through my program, there is a better approach. At the end of this video, I'm going to break down the exact 5-step system I use to grow to 6 figures as a photographer. Now, before I dive in, let me be clear. Social media absolutely works. I'm not here to bash Instagram or LinkedIn or tell you to delete your account. My social media presence has been really incredible for my business. But here's the thing that no one really talks about. Social media is a long-term game. It usually takes 6 to 12 months of consistent posting to build an audience that actually converts into paying clients. And this isn't just 6 to 12 months of random posting. This is using an actual social media strategy. I'm talking about sharing portfolio pieces, reels, behind the scenes posts, case studies, testimonials, and building an audience of hundreds of engaged followers in your specific niche. Most creatives go out and post just random content hoping that's going to work. For this to actually work, you need to be following a social media strategy and not just posting random stuff. And the thing that most people miss is that your ideal clients aren't out there scrolling Instagram looking for the perfect photographer. They're out there running their business. And the problem is that most photographers' Instagrams don't even advertise that they sell professional services. Potential clients think this is just their hobby. So there's a lot to get right about social media. And I'm not saying don't rely on social media. I'm saying don't rely on it as your only client acquisition strategy, especially when you're starting out and need revenue now. Now, there is a better way, and this is direct outreach. So instead of waiting for clients to come to you to find you, what if you found them? What if you had control? What if you could reach out directly to the marketing directors and the brand managers that have real budgets and actually need photography services right now? That's exactly what direct outreach is. It's proactive pitching to qualified leads who can hire you and pay you what you're worth. Now, some of you might be saying, Chris, I've tried pitching before and it just doesn't work. But here's the thing. Most creatives I talk to are pitching the wrong way. They're sending emails to generic email addresses like support@ or hello@ instead of the people that actually hire them. The goal is to reach out to the marketing directors, not those support emails. And the reason is because those support emails, they go to gatekeepers, people whose job is to literally filter out your emails. Now in this video, I'll show you the exact tool that I use to actually find the direct email addresses of the people who can actually say yes to hiring you. And here's why this works so much better than social media. You get to control who sees your work and when. You're reaching out to decision makers with actual budgets. Results happen in days and weeks instead of months and years. You're positioned as a professional service provider and not just another creative here. Think about it. Would you rather rely on luck or something that you can control? If you send 10 emails, those 10 emails land in the marketing director's inbox. If you post a piece of content, you have zero control over who sees it. So if you want to make good money as a photographer, do you rely on luck or do you want to take control? And a surprising amount of creatives will still rely on luck at knowing this is true because they want someone to blame. If their business doesn't work, they blame the algorithm. But when we pitch clients, we no longer have anyone to blame. We have to take accountability, which means we now have to actually improve in order to grow. We have to get better. If we take responsibility for landing clients, it's far more likely that we actually will land clients. So let's take back control. Now, before we dive in, let's look at the data. Let me break down the math for you around outreach and pitching. So let's say we send 20 personalized emails per week. From that, we can expect about 4 responses at a 20% response rate, especially when you're just getting started. From those 4 responses, maybe you'll book 3 discovery calls, and from those 3 discovery calls, you're going to close 2 projects with an average project value of $2,000 to $5,000. Now compare that to social media, where you might post for 6 months before getting your first real inquiry. In Pieta Productions, over 90% of my 6-figure revenue came from direct outreach and not social media. And here's something that's really important. Most creatives I talk to that say they want to go full time end up quitting because they don't have revenue fast enough. They have bills to pay. But if you can get money coming in for your services quickly, you'll also have more confidence in yourself. And what's better here? Getting paid in your first month of business or waiting 6+ months for your first Instagram client after posting a reel every single day? I know what I would pick. One of the most important parts is actually getting in the inbox of a decision maker at a company. And for that, I recommend this video sponsor, Agency Access. It's the ultimate database for photographers and creatives who want to connect with agencies, brands, and companies that actually hire photographers. Instead of guessing who might need your services, Agency Access gives you the direct information for brand managers, marketing directors, and decision makers at thousands of companies. You can filter by industry, location, company size, exactly what you would need to build a targeted list of potential clients. They even have a Chrome extension that lets you see the decision makers right on a company's website. Now with a tool like Agency Access, pitching is easy. They even have a built-in CRM and you can send emails directly from the platform, and that makes keeping track of everything super simple. Agency Access also verifies that the decision makers actually work at those companies and their email addresses are accurate. You can start your 14-day free trial today and get 30% off on top of that by using my code CHRIS30 at checkout. I wish I knew about this tool when I was starting my business because it would have saved me months of time in actually landing my first clients. The link is in the description below and you can check out Agency Access and start building your client list the smart way. Let's get into the exact pitching strategy that works. The exact step-by-step system here. So step 1 is to build your foundation. You need a professional website with a clear portfolio in a niche, a warmed up email address, a business email address here, social proof, and at least one signature package to be able to pitch consistently on discovery calls. Step 2 is to find your ideal clients. So use a database like Agency Access to find marketing contacts, target companies in your niche. So whether that's food, fashion, lifestyle, whatever you're in, pick your niche inside of a database tool and then focus on businesses with 10 to 100 employees at the start, because those businesses, they have budgets and they're still accessible. All you have to do for this is to run a search through Agency Access and all your possible leads are going to come up there. Step 3 is going to be to craft your outreach. So this isn't about sending just mass generic emails. You need a personalized subject line that gets opened. From there, you need a hook in the email that references their business, not just your photography. You need a brief credibility statement with a relevant portfolio example and a clear call to action for a discovery call. Talk about them in this email more than you and the benefit that they will get from working with you. You want to avoid pumping up your own tires here. So just 1 or 2 sentences about yourself in that credibility section is really all you need for talking about yourself here. Step 4 is the follow-up system. And here's what most people get wrong. They send 1 email and then they give up, they stop. You need 3 emails. There's your initial outreach, then you follow up 3 days later with additional value, and then a final follow-up email a few days after that. And for me personally, most responses come from emails 2 and 3 because I show that I'm persistent and I'm actually serious about working with this brand. Now, step 5. After you get responses back, you're going to book discovery calls and send proposals after those calls. So ask about their goals and their challenges during the call, present your photography as the solution to those problems, send a professional proposal after the call is over, and then follow up on that proposal until you get a yes or a no. Now this video is mainly about pitching, but if you need help with discovery calls or proposals, I have tons of videos on my channel breaking both discovery calls down and proposals in depth if you need any more help with that. Now with this 5-step system, you're gonna repeat this every single week. Send 20 to 50 emails each and every week. And within a month, you'll be booking calls, sending proposals, and hopefully signing some big clients. Now here's the strategy to implement this for month 1 through 12 and beyond, and how we can actually tie social media back into this. Once you've proven that people actually want to pay you for your service, here's what I recommend for photographers who want to maximize the amount of clients they get. So the most successful photographers that I work with in my program actually use social media to supercharge their outreach. And the reason that this works so well is when you pitch a brand, they're gonna go and look at your social media profile. Social media helps you build credibility, so it's really important to do both over time. And once you start landing clients through pitching, you're gonna start building your brand so that your pitches become even more effective. So over time, clients will see your pitch, they're gonna click into your social media, see your profile, your portfolio, your case studies, your behind the scenes content, your testimonials, as all going to enhance your pitches. And you don't need a massive following here either. Brands are looking for credibility to see if you're consistently posting, how you're showing up on social media, because how you're showing up on social media tells them a lot on how you're going to show up as a business partner with these brands. And here's how this looks like in the real world. So maybe when you start pitching, you're getting a 10% response rate. But then when you start putting more effort into social media, that might jump up into 20% or higher. And over time, that's gonna climb as your reputation climbs. So here's a 12-month breakdown of how to actually pitch the right way and how to balance social media with pitching. So if you're new to pitching and social media strategy, do this. Months 1 through 6 is going to be 80% outreach and 20% social media. And this is the time you spend on each of these activities. So for example, if you have an 8-hour day and you're just starting out and you're not really making much money, you're probably gonna be spending like 4 hours on marketing yourself. So of those 4 hours, that's gonna be 80% outreach and then 20% social media. So you're gonna focus primarily on pitching to get that cash flow in your business. And you're gonna post occasionally to build your brand in the background, but your goal here is cash flow. So you're just gonna post client work from your outreach to kind of fuel that social content here. And here your goal is going to be to begin building up your client base. So you have very few clients, so you have a ton of free time to pitch. So focus on pitching, use extra time to market yourself, and the remaining time to actually deliver on whatever you're promising with clients. Now, months 6 through 12. At this point, you've got a solid client base built up, so you can transition to doing about 60% outreach and then 40% social media with your free time here. So begin implementing some sort of actual content strategy with what you're posting here, and you should be posting consistently. Every single week, multiple times, ideally every day, but I know that's difficult for some people. You want to use social proof from your paying clients here as well. So let your success stories actually attract more organic followers. So at this stage, you've got a steady stream of clients coming in, you've got repeat clients, and you can really start to build on social media. And at this stage, you can tell your story. So you're working with lots of clients, so you have less time for outreach, but it's still important to do some outreach in this time, especially that 60% that I'm talking about here. So you might want to consider hiring a part-time assistant to kind of help with that outreach and the social content here, and start building your brand seriously on social media. Now, once you hit month 12 of pitching and consistent content, you can really decide where you want to put in your efforts. So at this point, you've got really consistent revenue in your business. You understand where clients come from, how to pitch, how to market yourself. So for pitching, you're probably only going to be super specific about the brands you want to work with. So your pitches will be a lot more qualified, and you'll be able to land those bigger brand deals because of all that credibility you've built up on social media. And the really great thing is 12 months into doing this consistently, posting every single week or every single day, well, you're gonna actually start to attract a lot of clients from social media, and outreach is just there to kind of maintain a consistent pipeline. And you're also gonna start landing a ton of referrals from those happy clients that you've worked with in the past. So at this stage, you've got a multi-channel business built. Clients are coming in from lots of different directions. You've got clients from outreach, you've got repeat clients, you've got clients coming in from social media, from referrals. So at this stage, you can decide how you want to scale, where you want to go from here. Now, 12 months may not seem long, but during these 12 months, you've been doing all of this extremely consistently. You're showing up every single day, putting in the work, and you're doing this consistently. Why does this strategy work so well? Well, this approach, it gives you that immediate revenue generation. Most creatives, they burn out because they're not making money. So you need money to pay your bills right now. So that's why we pitch so much early on. It builds confidence for yourself too. You're gonna get those early wins. People are gonna start saying yes to your services, and it's gonna create social proof for your social media, for your website. And it's gonna be the snowball effect where the more you do, the more clients you get, and it establishes you as the authority in your space. Now, the bottom line here is to stop waiting for clients to discover you and start discovering the clients who need you and who can afford to pay what you want and what you're worth. Now, on a personal note, I run 2 businesses. I have Pieta Productions, the photo and video business, and Creative Biz Launch, my education company. And Pieta Productions, it gets clients primarily through outreach. Creative Biz Launch is all through organic content. is through social media. So can you guess which one has generated more revenue since they've existed? Pieta Productions is actually the clear winner there. It's made more money through outreach than Creative Biz Launch has through social media content. And there's a ton of factors at play there, but I just want to share that for some transparency at the end here. If you'd like to get started with better outreach, check out Agency Access and start your 14-day free trial today and use code Chris30 at checkout for that additional 30% off. And the really cool thing is you can use the free trial, land a client, and then the tool pays for itself from then on. My name is Chris Pieta. Thank you for watching. And now go land some clients.